just to be clear that I don't think we get up in the morning and think, well, let's just introduce some policy because we want to be difficult. The point of introducing this particular policy is about bringing comfort, it's about addressing residents' concerns. And I think most importantly, what we're forgetting is that buskers in some ways have a choice whether they want to perform or not. Residents live where they live, and it's their home. And I think when you get emails at 1 o'clock in the morning, I remember receiving an email from Councillor Marshall sometime, I might not get the date correct, but sometime in April, where Councillor Marshall describes him walking down Camden Town and the havoc the buskers are causing. And absolutely right, I agree with his testimony. These are sort of accounts that we're getting from councillors, from residents. I remember Councillor Naylor, he sent me some emails saying that we've got to do something, and that is why that we worked with yourselves, Councillor Lazaro, Councillor Callaghan, with the chairs, and we try finding a sort of a collective solution and a meaningful solution that works for all parties concerned. And the policy itself, and I think the chairs sort of quite eloquently sort of summed up the fact that I don't think we'll be able to show anywhere that, you know, even the buskers, when they turned up, perhaps their membership fees is far more than the busking policy. Of course, we recognise the importance of buskers adding musical and cultural heritage to the borough itself, and we want to sustain that, we want to maintain that, and ensure that that vibrancy is here to stay in Camden. But I think one has to recognise that in order to mitigate against those negative impacts, and it may not be all the buskers, but I'm afraid when you're trying to sort of unpick the few bad apples amongst hundreds, it's difficult. And this policy in itself provides safeguards to the buskers, because at the moment we've got to a position where the tension is such in a state that you know, residents feel quite resentment towards buskers. And I think by having that policy, that will hopefully would address. And a classic example I'll give, Mr. Mayor, is that you look at in Camden Lock Market, where they've got some sort of conditions where, you know, they can't use amplification. They've got some sort of agreement where the busking should not impact the traders. And in some ways, we're not doing anything different. In some ways, we're offering the buskers far more choice.